It's preparing to live stream the meeting. I did not get this screen the last time. So are you quickly going to embed the YouTube live channel?
I don't know yet. Like what's going through my head now is what about all the videos and
Yeah.
You know, the transitions and stuff like that.
Okay, it's broadcasting me.
Is it really?
Well, now it's broadcasting you.
Because it's broadcasting the Zoom call? Oh, it said, I see a live on YouTube there.
Yeah, I just had to pause it because it's fighting over our chat.
Okay.
Okay, dude, I'm going to email you this. See what happens.
Like, see if I can see it?
See if you can embed it instead of our stream. Yeah, but how? What do we have on tap for today? Aside from the marshmallow challenge.
Can we not just direct people to the actual YouTube channel itself?
We can.
And they can log into YouTube, like they can go to YouTube and click on the live stream?
They absolutely can.
I'm just wondering if that's a little bit more practical for our participants.
Well, they've logging in to get the access to the viewer is not the problem. It was the viewer.
No, I understand, but I don't know how I can embed that. I can embed YouTube videos.
I thought we've done it before. If not, then you're right.
We have. I've embedded YouTube videos before.
I just sent you the link.
Okay.
And the beauty is, Betsy, because it's a Zoom meeting and we don't have any pre-recorded stuff going on today, you can still do your marshmallow exercise as you originally intended.
Yeah, I do have one video today.
Story time with Grandpa. But if you play that when you share your screen, it will still be able to watch it.
Yes. Yeah. Nope, that's fine.
And same with the ending of the day with the card tricks. Dude, this could be our savior here. And we've got 18 minutes.
Oh, shit. I have to, I forgot I have to actually do that on the web page itself.
Okay. It's delayed, but not by much.
Can you refresh the live stream page? Are you logged into that?
No, but I will be. It's the old stream.
Do you see another one below it?
No, there's space for it, but it's not there. So essentially there's a white space the size of the, our streamer window between the original screen and the logout
Okay.
button. So you can tell it wants to put something there.
Okay, so go back to the video on YouTube, Chris.
Yep,
Under the video, can you click share?
yep,
Click embed,
yep.
and in the box that appears, copy the
The iframe,
Sorry, what?
the iframe code.
Yeah. The HTML
Yep.
you see there, and then email that to me.
Just sent it. Let me know when to refresh the player.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Hold on. Okay, refresh the page.
Yep. I'm looking at you. It's working perfectly.
Okay, good. I'm gonna
Okay, do me a favor. Play a
Yeah.
video.
play a video.
Yeah, because when Dan comes to the meeting, it's going to be easy.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to.
Share your screen first.
Okay. Oh, wait a sec. Are you seeing the video yet?
No? I'm still looking at your camera. You haven't shared your screen yet.
Can you see the video?
Yeah, no volume.
No volume?
No.
That's 100.
Which is,
How's that? Is the volume better?
barely.
Okay. Um,
It sounds like
it sounds like what?
okay, let me try something with the video I have.
Okay, stop then. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear video if here, I'm going to start sharing my screen. Can you hear video if I play this? Can you hear this?
No.
Yeah, so unfortunately, when you share screen, it doesn't, the video is not included.
Okay, so having said that, what I think maybe we'll start doing is I will, wait a sec. Do you have all your graphics on your computer?
I have the old JPEG slides, yeah.
Okay, then I think what we do is you just have those queued up, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Share your screen. And in the meantime, what we will do is upload all of our videos to our YouTube channel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know how to do anything different. I mean,
Okay, so log in. Can you watch the YouTube video?
so just go to youtube.com and search it.
No, go into our page. Go into our viewer.
But I'm logged out. You're logged in as me.
I mean the viewer on the virtual camp page.
Oh,
So I can see you through the live stream. I'm going to hide you.
Do you have the stay tuned video up there right now?
Yeah.
Or like the like stay tuned, we will return shortly thing?
Yes.
Okay, I can see that.
So our conversation is live. Yeah, they can see us. Hi, everybody.
Oh, I see. Oh, it's Dan is on the line.
All right, Dan, just stay tuned here. We've had some technical difficulties, and I'd like to welcome everybody to Virtual Camp because I'm getting texts right now telling me that everybody can see us. We've had an exciting morning. We had one of our speakers unfortunately not able to join us first thing. And then we also had our live streaming company not able to broadcast to us because they are overwhelmed with traffic today, the first day that I think people are back at the office. So while Dan prepares his slides, I'd like to welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. Please bear with us as we get through these IT difficulties and whatnot. It looks like now we'll be broadcasting live via YouTube Live. And luckily, most of our camp counselors and instructors today are coming to us with the technology of Zoom. And therefore, you're still going to be able to see everything that we had in store for you today. It just, forgive Dustin and I, Dustin, my business partner, who's producing the show back at his house. So my name is Chris. You'll hear from me today. You'll hear from Dustin today, as well as all of our great camp counselors and instructors. I'd like to thank all of these instructors and counselors for participating today, tomorrow, and Wednesday morning. They are volunteers. They are doing this because, well, they obviously thought this was a good idea. And many of them, I'm sure, have kids themselves, so they understand the value of keeping you guys busy. So thank you to all our counselors. I'd like to do a quick shout out to some of our friends. We've got Gabriella and Ben and Sault Ste. Marie, Ellie and Jelly in San Jose. We've got Henry and Victoria. We've got someone from Melbourne, Australia watching us right now. Joel, hello. Callie and Dylan are in Brantford. We've got Coben and Dax in Revelstoke. Remy and Hadley are in Guelph. Emma and Alex in London, Ontario. And then all the way in Vancouver, we have Rachel. But my guess is Rachel might not be up yet. We'll have to wait and see. So thank you, everybody, for coming. We're going to get started now with Dan Michaeluk, who is going to talk to us about staying safe and protecting ourselves online. Okay, when Dan's done, we will move on to the next session, which, bear with me here. Is it break, Dust?
A break and then the marshmallow exercise.
There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a break after Dan talks for a few minutes. You can stretch your legs and then get your ingredients ready for the marshmallow exercise, okay? Because that's what's coming up after the break. So Dan, thank you very much. I'll let you introduce yourself to our viewers and, please take it away. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dustin and Chris, and hi, everybody. And really happy to be here. I think it's really cool that we've got people from all over the world here. Like, I'm not sure that's San Jose, California or San Jose, Costa Rica, but wherever it is, it's cool. And I heard Australia too earlier. So, stoked to be here and talking to you today. Our topic is hackers, hacking, and cybersecurity for kids. So I'm going to talk about this subject matter and hopefully teach you a thing or two about how to protect yourself as you start to learn about the internet and get online at your fairly young age. Let me tell you a little bit about myself first. That's me there with my family. I have kids who are a little older than you see in the picture here, but they're I think they're probably not too much older than you. Hugo and Penny are their names. And I'm a lawyer, actually. That's my day job here. And I'm a lawyer who specializes in data security and privacy, and I'll explain to you what all the cool things that involves. From time to time, if employees do bad things online, one of the things that I help organizations do is hold them accountable for those things. We actually fight legal cases about whether what they've done is right or wrong. So that's part of what I do in my job as a lawyer during the day. Nowadays, I'll tell you that organizations are attacked by hackers all the time. And one of the things that I do is I come in and I help the organization respond to that hacking event. And you may have heard of ransomware nowadays. This is where the hackers will get into a company and lock up all their data and say, we need all of this money to give you your data back. That's becoming very common. So I do that all the time nowadays. Sometimes, but quite often the hackers are off in some faraway country and really beyond our reach. But sometimes an organization will know who the hackers are. And in those cases, we are one of the things I've done is I've helped the company sue the hackers, not to get the hackers money really, but to figure out what the hackers took from them and to get that stuff back. It's part of the job. And in my spare time, you'll see there I paddle a paddleboard. If you're from Australia, you guys know what paddleboards are. But if you're from here in Canada or Toronto in particular, and you're down at Cherry Beach and you see a guy paddling what looks like a long surfboard with his hands, that's me. So wave high and I'll wave back. But, that's me. Here's what I want to do with you. This is a pretty short presentation, but let's talk about these things. There's a number of reasons why this may help you. One is I hope, again, as you start to use the internet yourself, you'll do it safely. So I want you to learn that. Two, I mean, one of these days, you're going to have a job and a career. And if I can get you interested in some of this stuff and learning about it on your own, I think it's a wonderful area to work in and will always be of interest. I guarantee you, when you're old and you're going to university and of that age, if you are interested and know about cybersecurity, you will be of great value. So I'm kind of hoping to get you interested in this too. And most importantly, I see my daughter up there now, your parents need your help. Parents can be brutal at this stuff, lazy with passwords and all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to teach you some things. And I encourage you to have a chat with your parents about their own practices after this and see if you can straighten them out. I think that would be a great thing. So think about that too. So those are my objectives. Let's get into it. Starting with a simple analogy or metaphor. Think about your house, right? And I bet you, if you're like me and my kids, you feel pretty safe in your house. Okay, you can sleep at night and you're not worried about other people coming in. You can have all of your toys and valuables and everything you want, and you put it in your house, and you feel quite secure. And that's a great feeling. How do we do that? It's pretty easy, actually, to secure a house. We do that through really creating a barrier or a perimeter, if you've heard that word, like a kind of a zone around all of the things that you want to protect. That barrier or perimeter is composed of fences. Okay, this picture doesn't have one, but you may have a fence that surrounds your entire house that keeps bad people out. If bad people get over the fences, you then have walls and doors and windows that are meant to be hard to break through, right? Three Little Pigs, right? We all know that story. You build a house out of concrete and it's hard for the wolf to blow the house down. You build it out of sticks. So we have this strong perimeter and it makes us quite secure in our house. That's the main way we secure our stuff. If that perimeter fails, we have some other things too that are a little more advanced. We don't have them in all houses, but these are things like alarm systems, video cameras. And these are things that help us if the bad guys get in. They tell us if the bad guys are there and help us find the bad guys, okay? More ways to secure your house. Okay? So think about that. Think about that. Now we're going to move from the house to the internet. Okay, and the internet's a wonderful thing. Again, we're talking to people in San Jose. Hello. We're talking to people in Australia, I think. Hello. And we're able to do that because every computer on the internet is connected to every other computer in the world. Okay, and that's a good thing. But compare it to my house again. Okay, think about your house. In your neighborhood, if it's like mine, there's probably 4 bad guys, 4 robbers, 4 people who are, you know, of the type that would break into my house. Just 4, because my neighborhood's only that big, right? But with my computer, your computer too, it's connected to, do you know the number? 50 billion other computers. 50 billion other computers. And it's not just 4 bad guys that your computer is connected to. It's every bad guy. Now, I don't know how many there are, but there are a lot, and a lot more than 4. Okay, so that's the problem, is any of those bad guys sitting at anywhere over the, in the entire world can get at your computer if they wanted to. Okay. You may be wondering what this picture is, by the way. This is an actual diagram of the connections between every computer in the Middle East. And I believe each of the colors are countries. And I'll explain, but you see where a line ends? There's a computer at the end of each line. So picture a little computer over each one of those, and they're all connected to each other through the various networks. And that's just the Middle East countries. Okay, so again, 50 billion computers are connected to the very computer that you're using right now. Lots of bad guys can get at you if they want you. Little bit of a tidbit. Have you ever heard the term Internet Protocol Address? Okay, that's like your street address for your computer. So again, every one of these little points that you see on this diagram has an IP address or Internet Protocol address. And again, the bad guys can kind of look up that address and come visit you and figure out, okay, how do we get into this computer? This is the essential data security problem that we're all dealing with. Okay. So just like your house, we have to secure our computers. And take a look at this slide here. And what I'd like you to start doing, and what makes sense, you know, as you grow a little bit older and start to create more information, digital information, is start thinking about the information that you create, the digital information that you create, and where you store it, right? You can store it on various things, like you can store it on a computer, so you can save it to a computer like the one you see in this photo. Some of you may have phones. As you're getting up around maybe age 10 or so, you may be lucky enough to have a phone. You may have information stored on that phone. I know for school now, at younger and younger ages, they're requiring you to have accounts. So you may already have an account with like Google. You see Apple there, or Microsoft is another one. Okay, so if you have an account, you may start to kind of create and store information on those accounts. Mapping information and understanding where you're storing it is a really fundamental part of data security. So start thinking about that. Start thinking about that. Okay. And nowadays, I think at your age, it's probably mainly schoolwork, like essays you're writing, assignments, and simple things. Fortunately for you, the hackers are not so interested in that. Okay, so that's the good news. But as you grow and you start to compile more and more information in these 4 things you see on the slide, your information will become more and more interesting to hackers, and I'll tell you why. You know, and for your parents too. Here's why the hackers are interested in your parents' information. They'll basically try to steal it by accessing these things to do just a few things. One thing they want to do is they want to impersonate other people. Okay, you've heard of the term identity theft. or identity fraud. Basically, that means pretending you're someone else, and you do that by stealing secret information about them. Okay, so your age, right? Sometimes someone will try to test to see who you are by asking your age. So if you reveal your age to someone, that person can pretend to be you. Okay. There are other special things like things called social insurance numbers that you have to get when you have a job. Okay. If someone steals that number, they can present that secret number to someone else and they can pretend to be you. Okay. So that's a major reason why hackers want to steal information, is to impersonate other people. Okay. And they can do that to take money. Because they can you know, call up a bank and pretend to be you and take out your money. It's that simple. Or they can use it to hack other people. Okay, so they can even steal like an email account and they can start emailing other people pretending to be you, and that just allows them to hack more people easily. Okay, so impersonation is a big one. They can also sell information. Yes, these things that are secret, like a social insurance number or a driver's license number or your age, can actually be, are actually sold on a secret part of the internet called the dark web. Okay, so the hackers will take this information and they'll sell it to other criminals so other criminals can impersonate people. Okay, so that's what another thing the hackers are trying to do. And finally, they're trying to sell it back to you. So, and this can happen even with a home computer, is the hackers can get in, they can encrypt or lock up all the data that's on your computer, and including things like photos that you really love and want to keep looking at. And they can say, give me $300 and I'll give you back your photos. Okay, that's exactly what I help organizations with, but it can happen at home too, and it does happen at home. So that's another reason why hackers want access to your information. Okay, so again, okay, not just 4 burglars in the house, millions and millions of hackers out there on the internet, and those 50 billion computer users. They all can look up your IP address and they can go, how are we going to get this information? That's why you've got to secure it. Okay. Here's how they do it. And let me say that a computer is way easier to break into than a house. Okay, so a house, you've got like a physical wall here, right? Like the hackers have got to break through that. And again, if you think of the 3 little pigs, if your house is made out of concrete, they are not getting through. If you got a steel door with a nice lock on it, they are not getting through. Really hard to break into a house, really easy to break into a computer. And that's because we can only secure a computer with information. Let me explain. Tricky, right? But when you think about it, really what we're securing computers with is a password. And that's just another secret, right? In order for someone to get into your computer, they essentially convince your computer that they are you. And they do that by presenting the password that only you are supposed to know. Okay, it's really that simple. It's a secret that we keep and we show to our computers or our accounts to get in. Okay, passwords are terrible. They really are. They're just. I mean, we need them, but they're really weak because they're hard to remember, right? Like, how do I remember a password that's at all complicated? Like if it's dog or cat or 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm gonna remember it. But if it's like 8 characters with capitals and numbers and stuff, there's no way I can remember that. And so I'm gonna make a simple one instead, or I'm gonna make one complicated one, and I'm gonna reuse it everywhere. Okay, all of that is problematic. Okay, it makes passwords very weak, and I want to explain to you. I'm going to try to how hackers use bad passwords to get into your computer. Okay, so this is this bullet, the first bullet you see on the screen here. They can break a weak password. Okay, so I'll explain to you. Like they'll use software, and they will have basically the software try the 200 easiest passwords used. So the software will enter in password 1234 11111, all the horrible passwords that people use, the most horrible ones. And quite often that will be enough to just kind of, find the password that matches, and they'll get into your computer or your account that way. Okay. Remember I said people reuse passwords because they're so hard to remember. When one company, let's say like a social media company, loses a bunch of passwords to hackers, the hackers will again buy those passwords off of the internet, and they'll just reuse a bunch of stolen passwords until they match, because people use passwords, all the same passwords, over and over and over again. That's another way they'll do it. And finally, they'll phish your password. Phish is with a P there. That's not how you spell fish, like the one that swims in the ocean. Phish basically means to trick you on the internet out of information, or to trick you to do something. So they'll phish your password by creating a website that looks like a real website, but it isn't. And you type in your password to that website, and when you press submit, it goes right to the hackers. Okay, so that's how they get passwords, and they break into passwords. They're very, very easy to circumvent, quite easy. The other thing they'll do, which I'll explain to you here, is they'll install malware on your computer. So software that's designed to do bad things and steal information basically from you. Okay, and they'll do that by creating bad websites again. So these websites will look like real websites, but they won't be. And you'll click on a link and you'll install some software from that website, and then they've got your computer basically at that point. Okay, or they'll I'm not sure you guys are big email users yet, but once you use email, they'll send you a file that's embedded in the email, and you'll click on email, and that will do the same thing. You'll click on that file and it will do the same thing. Okay, so this is how they do it. Okay, not so complicated really. But again, it's really hard to secure a computer well. Okay, all of that is to tell you 3 things to protect yourself, and I'm going to keep them simple, but these are the 3 things to take away and maybe have a chat with your parents about. Okay, number 1 starts with the password. Okay, so you're going to start, as you get older, and you're at the perfect age right now, you're going to start to have more and more accounts and things that are going to ask you to create a password. Create a good one, please. Here's what's a good password. Long. Okay, longer the better. 8 characters is kind of the minimum, but the longer the better. Okay, if you want to create a sentence and make that whole sentence your password, it's actually not a bad thing to do, even though you can read the sentence. Okay, so long is good. Unique is good. Okay, so you're going to get your first account and you're going to create your little password, and then a couple months later you're going to have an opportunity to create another account and you're going to create another password. Do not use the same password. Okay, because if one of those companies loses your password to hackers, the hacker could take that and use it on your other account, and they do that. And complicated. There's more debate about this that I don't need to get into with you, but you can actually, there's a theory that you can make your password better by using like capital letters and little letters and numbers and symbols. So you can try that as well, and it certainly may help. Okay, you may be going, well, I'm just 8 years old. How am I going to figure out passwords and do this well if adults can't? Good question. Here's what I'll tell you. It's better to write, in my view, go ahead, create a paper list. Okay, so I got paper here, physical world. Write your password, create a good password, and create a list of all your passwords on a piece of paper. Give that paper to mom and dad. Mom and dad will keep it somewhere in the house. Okay, you don't stick it on your computer. Keep it somewhere in the house. But remember, there's 4 burglars in your whole neighborhood, right? They would have to break into your house, find that piece of paper, and then you'd be in trouble. So I don't have a problem with you writing it down on a piece of paper. I actually think it's a good idea at your age to do that. Totally fine. Those burglars, if they break into your house, they're probably not looking for your password, and they take your TV. So I think that's why I think it's fine. So write them down, go ahead. And if mom and dad are listening, or if you want to talk to mom and dad about being really good, you can talk to them about something called a password manager, which is an actual software tool for creating and managing a whole bunch of passwords. That's a good thing for adults to use, I think. And you can also talk to them about something that I will not get into, but I have to put it on the slide because it's really important for adults, is multi-factor authentication, which means using a password plus something else. Okay. Tip number 1, use good passwords. Tip number 2 is surf safely. Remember, there can be bad websites out there that the hackers actually create just to harvest information. Okay, so keep that in mind. It's like, the internet is just another, the metaphor is like your city that you live in, and at ages 6 to 10, if that's where you are, you're probably not walking around the city by yourself without your parents because there are various dangerous things in your city that create risk for 6 to 10-year-old. The internet's the same thing. Okay, so I think it's a great time to learn the internet at your age, and go ahead and do it. But work with your parents on that. Talk with them about the websites that you visit, what's a safe website and what isn't, and be completely open with your parents, and they will help you learn what is safe and isn't safe. I think that's really important. Okay. From time to time, you may want to download software. My kids like to download games. It's really hard to tell what's safe to download and install on a computer and what isn't. It really is but yet what you have to realize is every time you download something, you stick it on your computer and run a piece of software, that software could be doing things like stealing information or running your video camera secretly, and or your microphone. So there, you have to think about whether I can trust the person who's giving me this software or not. That's a hard thing for adults. I wouldn't know what to tell you as a kid to tell you what's trustworthy or not. But go through that process with your parents and try to figure out if what you're downloading is safe or sketchy, and do it that way. Okay. Ask your parents if you have antivirus software installed on your computer. This software will stop certain types of malware from getting on your computer. It actually, these companies that create the antivirus software will do research, and they'll figure out what things are healthy for a computer and what things aren't, and it will block the things that are unhealthy. So it's basic protection, and it's important. And again, ask your parents if you have it installed. Costs a bit of money, but not that much, and it is important to have. Finally, don't share your personal information online. Okay, I haven't talked about social media. Okay, I know you guys know about TikTok. My kids do. They are into TikTok and Instagram, and they have, I think, some other accounts. The kids' accounts are different than the ones I use. But if you're 6 to 10 and at that age like that, you really ought not to share. Sorry, I encourage you to try out social media. I think that's quite natural, but you should do so very secretively. Okay, I think until you're at least 14 or up, I think is probably where you can start to think differently about social media. But if you're below, if you're 13 or below, certainly use a code name for your social media account. Okay, create a really cool one. Okay, but it's not your real name. It doesn't look like your real name. Probably don't put a picture of yourself on there so people can tell who you are. Be a little bit secretive about that, because I think that's just appropriate at a younger age. Okay, and set your privacy settings on there so so only the people who you want to connect with can see your data. Okay, not the hackers. Not creepy adults who lurk around on the internet too. Okay, so that's some basic advice. And watch, even though your settings are secret, watch what you put in your pictures. Okay, because that can identify you to others. If you, for example, have a picture, even a picture of your face can make you identifiable, but you may stand in front of your house, your address, and show your street address which just tells everybody on the internet where they can find you. Okay, so start to think about that and understand what the information you post is and where it goes. Okay, and you can always check. It's kind of neat. You can go to Google and search your own name and just check to see if anything comes up. And if it comes up, you know that you've had a problem in posting stuff online with your privacy settings. So do that periodically. I certainly do. Okay, those are the 3 main tips. And if you get hacked, it may happen. Okay, you know, here's the general advice for you. Change your password, because someone probably has your password, and that's probably how it happened. Okay, hopefully they haven't locked you out of your own account, which can happen, but change your password. Take a good look at your account settings. Okay, so if you're using email, for example, what hackers can do is they can actually set your account to forward all of your messages to another account. So just take a look around the account to see the settings, to see what's up, and get your parents to help with that. And you can warn your friends that they may have received some strange messages out of your account. I think that's the basic thing to do if you get hacked. And obviously it depends on what's been hacked. And but I think if it's just a basic account, you can do those things and life goes on. All right, that's the basic content on hackers, hacking, and cybersecurity for kids, how to protect yourself. I hope that was interesting. I hope you learned something. Most importantly, remember, have a chat with your parents about this stuff and figure out what's going on and learn some more. You know, it's a great topic for kids your age to kind of start thinking about. Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much, Dan. I'm hoping, Dan, you can hear me.
I can.
Okay, so I'm going to get you to stop sharing your screen, if that's okay.
Gotcha.
And everyone, well, I don't have any sort of way to interact with the crowd, so I'm hoping that the crowd right now is giving a round of applause, because I know we certainly enjoyed it. So the boys and I will be back at 10:30. Sorry, boys and I won't be back. Dustin will be back at 10:30 with an unbelievably fun marshmallow exercise. The ingredients are on the website on the agenda. If you need details on what, oh, let's just mute Dustin's.
Hey guys.
Okay, that was Dustin's eager son, Michael. Anyway, Dustin will be back at 10:30, and we will make sure that he's ready to go with the marshmallow exercise. Anyway, we'll see you guys in half an hour. Have a good break, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks.
And I'm going to share.
Michael. Hi, Mika.